I'm glad you used the word, it won't be an elephant project. So when you finish state of the art, what set of students would you want to stay there? Those graduating final year students or postgraduate or first year students? Great question. We're actually targeting postgraduate students. And so for that matter, it's going to be a mixed gender hostel. And we expect also that this will be priced relatively at premium versus what you see on campus presently. But that's the reason why we're going to give them what I call the state of the art. So it's supposed to be a model that going forward, once we do that and other alumni see what we have done, hopefully they can come in and we can have more of that on campus.
And when do you hope to complete it?
We expect that this should take a maximum of 2 years. But I mean, obviously that's a function of, how much funds come in. But clearly our roadmap is to have this completed within the next 24 months.
2 billion within the next 24 months. That's...
I would hope that we get it next week Friday, and we won't be talking about 24 months. I almost said next week Friday, finish building it next week Friday. That would be a miracle.
Getting the money. Okay, so you, I'm sure, having more of the alumni come in will be great.
Yeah.
So what are you telling them, in case somebody is watching and was at UNILAG at some point for whatever cost? Yeah. What are you telling them this morning?
Yeah, I mean, my last word on this in relation to really getting other alumni to be interested in this is that we have a vision to be by far the most admired alumni in Africa. So by that, what we mean is that we want to create some bonding amongst all graduates of UNILAG, all those that have passed through University of Lagos. Secondly, we want to create a network that enables people to actually tap into the people that have qualified, those who call the mega stars and all that, so that we can be supportive of each other. And finally, like I said, really impact the community that grew us to be what we are today. So I want to take this opportunity to really call on other, as MD of Guinness Nigeria, they approached me and said, you must come. As soon as I finished and I thought I could create a little more time, I started supporting. And I think there are many more very successful alumni out there who can actually come and join us in really upgrading and upscaling what we have on campus. And most importantly, the reality is that when students that are just coming through see successful alumni come around the campus, their presence alone is so inspiring to these young ones that even if that's what you do, that in itself will go in as a contribution to the university that made you. So I can't say enough about the fact that we would like to see other successful alumni of the University of Lagos come and be part of this journey that we have embarked on.
So how long has this alumni association existed for?
I believe it's about half the time that I've said, so probably like 30 years from what I've understood, maybe plus minus 2-3 years. But more importantly is the fact that we are expecting that the younger ones will come in now and try to have more influence on it to encourage even the graduates that are coming through, so that we can take it to the higher level.
Okay. Otumba Sheni Adetu, immediate past MD, CEO, Guinness Nigeria PLC, founder, CEO, Algorithm Media Limited, National
we're going
Vice
to have
President.
some more time with him. We'll just go on a quick break. Don't send him off so
I'm not sending him off, but when we come back,
we need to hear more about UNILAG.
Thank you.
Welcome back. So, Mr. Sheni Adetu, let's look at the quality of education as it is now, tertiary education in Nigeria. What roles can the alumni associations play in making a difference, positively?
There's such a major role they can play. And in fact, I was fortunate to have been one of the people that went to see the Vice President regarding the same subject about 6 months ago in Abuja. What we think is the major issue is funding. Okay, so the quality of the funding in our university, especially in the universities, has reduced significantly versus what we used to have. And you can understand why. There's a lot that is calling for financial support and backing, whether it's the roads or the power or the whatever. But what we'd like to tell people is that at the end of the day, is our human capacity that delivers against all of these other things that we need. So the first that needs to happen is that we need to have the quality of funding that can enable the universities support the training needs of the lecturers. I hear there are lecturers, and I'm not talking specifically about University of Lagos because we had a real session on education, who haven't even gone for any sort of training for God knows how many years. You go around the campuses, the labs don't have the right equipment. The other day we had a meeting, we were talking about engineers that are coming out as mechanical engineers who haven't even seen a spare part of a machine or an equipment, who hasn't been to a Guinness in Nigerian breweries to see how things are operated. And so I think that first that needs to happen is that we need to inject a lot more funds into the universities. I think the second thing is to, and it also draws from the first, is to attract people who can say, I can be as comfortable being on campus lecturing as I am, selling a beer or a soft drink. Right now, it almost feels like if you can't get a decent job,
you go and lecture.
Then you go and lecture. And actually, if you flip that over and see what's happening in the international community, it's actually the other way around. The best of talents or graduates are first and foremost in the academic community. Mm-hmm. Okay, so, I mean, I was fortunate to have been in Harvard the other day, and I saw how the quality of the lecturers there, they would run any businesses in the world. So those are, for me, the two most important things. Put funding in and then encourage people. First-class graduates today are, finance director somewhere, MD somewhere. They should really be building the next generation of solid Nigerians. And the third thing I think is let leaders begin to put their children in the universities in Nigeria. And so that they can get a true understanding of what the situation is on our campuses.
Thank you very much. First National Vice President of the UNILAG Alumni Association and Chairman Organizing Committee for UNILAG at 55 Distinguished Awards Night, Otumba Sheni Adeji. Thank you for speaking.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me here.
Someone else will be back shortly. Don't go away.